What's going on, guys? So you can see we've got some stuff laid out. I was going to try to do this individually, but I was just like, this is too much. So we did the unboxing and that, talked about the truck a little bit. And as you can see, got a slew of stuff. Now, I was going to make this all separate, but this is just the easiest way to do this. There's a few more things I'm waiting on. One will be here today, which is the aluminum front and rear skid plate and the aluminum bell crank housing for steering. Everything else has came. So I'll tell you how we're going to upgrade our Arrma Kraton V5. First thing, we had talked about the little minuscule bumper. Well, went ahead with the Super Basher / EXB front bumper. So we're going to be swapping that out on this truck. So definitely we got the bigger bumper. It's going to provide a lot more protection for when you do have those incidentals. So bumper, that's the first thing. Went ahead and opted for the Extreme Basher chassis. This is 6061 aluminum. This is 7075 aluminum. That's 2.85 millimeters thick. This is 3.1 millimeters thick. So it still gives you a much more rigidity, still keeps the weight down, as opposed to some M2Cs or that. I was gonna go that route, but I reached out to some of these companies and they didn't want to work or, give discounts or anything. So I'm going this route and we'll buy our own, we'll build it our own, and we'll go that route. So we went with that chassis. Then I've got 3 Arrma metal diff cases to replace the 3 plastic ones that are in there. So all the diffs will be metal case differentials. So we got 3 of the Arrma metal case diffs. That to be said, from the factory, it's 10,000 weight oil in the back, 100,000, 200 in the front on this version, and 10K. We're going to change that up some. So our center diff is going to have the 500,000 K fluid in it from Traxxas. It was just the cheapest I could find. You could put earplugs in there or whatever. I'm just going to run 500K oil. So that's what's going in the center diff. We got 500K oil. For the front, I've got 30K oil. So for the front, we're going to do 30K. And in the rear, I don't know where my other ones are. I've got 200K here too, in case I want to adjust some things. I'm missing my 50K. It's going to be 30, 50 in the front, 30 in the back, 500 in the middle. When I can find that, that's what we're going to do with the oil. I already showed you the motors in that, but being as how we're going to swap out everything, this is getting an upgraded ESC. This is the Hobby Wing Max 6 ESC with the 4985 1650 kV motor. That said, obviously it's got some pinions that came with it. I've got a 20 tooth pinion for that motor, Mod 1. I've also got the Robinson Racing 19 tooth pinion to see which one I like better. I've got a 13 tooth pinion. And somewhere I've got a 22 tooth pinion Robinson Racing. I have that one too. So I'll play with that configuration once I get it on to see what I like best. I'm thinking 19 to 20 is going to be the sweet spot with that motor being a lower kV than the stock. So we've got those to play with while we go in there. Obviously, you can't have a tough truck without some good quality 70-75 shock towers. As I said in the unboxing, these are punched aluminum. So we went with the Arrma EXB shock towers, the red variant front and rear. So that's what we're going to be going with for the shock upgrades. Along with that, we have the front and rear bracing to replace the plastic ones with. So I opted to go that route. Then I've got a Hot Racing aluminum center differential mount. So that's going to replace the stock factory one. So we got that going for the aluminum center diff mount. We've got the aluminum steering servo horn and arm. Also on that note, we have the Savix waterproof IP67 rated servo. This is a 7.4 servo because this runs at 7.4 volts for our servo here. And this runs at 638 ounces at 7.4 volts, which is standard, and at 0.14 seconds is your speed. So that's what I went with, the Savix on that. For the rear hinge pins, I opted for, nope, I didn't get the rear hinge pin kit yet. This was a spare one I bought. They had it on eBay. This is for the front actually, and it was they had it for sale for $3 for the whole thing, pins and all. So I went ahead and just picked that up for spare parts. They removed it from a stock car, and the price was so good I couldn't pass it up. So these are just some spare parts. That's the front lower arms. That's the other piece I'm waiting for, is the rear diff pin, front, top and bottom, or excuse me, front and back. I'm waiting on that. That should be here. Everything should be here by Monday, but for right now, I'm waiting on that still. For the A-arms, we went with the RPM A-arms for this bad boy. They make a really great product. I've had nothing but luck with them anytime I've used them. So that's what I went with for the A-arms. Went with the Hot Racing aluminum diff housings for the front and the rear. So we're going to have the Hot Racing aluminum diff housings for the front and the rear. And also have the aluminum cover that goes with each of those. So we'll have the metal diff inside the metal housing for the vehicle. So that's what's going to be operating on there. Then we have front and rear Hot Racing steering knuckles, aluminum steering knuckles. That's going to be taking place of the ones that are the plastic from the factory. These have had really great reviews from everybody that I spoke with. So that's what I went with for the front and the rear. Hot Racing steering knuckle, aluminum steering knuckles. Got the Hot Racing steering servo, stereo serving saver. Man, I can't talk. Servo saver, so I can adjust the tension on that, because I've heard things about that servo saver, and yeah, I know you can put washers on them and that. I opted to do this so I can get what I want out of customized. So that's what we did. Got a complete set of fast eddies sealed bearings for the entire truck, so we'll be swapping out the bearings that are in there for the fast eddies, and we'll be keeping those units for spares. It's just another A-arm because not A-arm, another steering servo arm, because in case I need some adjustment, I have that. Then I have the Power Hobbies motor. This is for the fan to cool this motor. This will do, it's adjustable to fit the can on that motor to screw it down. And then I have this Super Power Hobbies twister fan. This is a 40mm fan, and it runs off its own independent 3S LiPo battery that will sit inside the truck too. And it comes with its on and off switch to power this bad boy to keep this thing cool while you're doing your bashing or speed runs or whatever. This is a super great motor. It's got a lot of power behind it. You do get your guards with it. It is a powerful fan. So just do be aware that if you go with something like this, it does need to have its own 3S battery that's wired up, which I have up here. I use these here. I use these Spectrum ones. Now, these are 850. I use these just because they fit in my Blade 180 heli. So that's what I use to power this fan, or that's what I'm going to use. So you can get, the time you run a set of batteries, I've got two. I can probably run 2 to 3 sets of batteries while running that fan with these. So that's what I'm going to use. So I know this was a lot to cover, a lot of product. I hope this can give you an idea of where we're going to take this truck. It's by no means a shelf queen. It's going to be run, but the bigger and faster we make these RC cars in this hobby, the stronger that they need to be and the more realistic they need to be. And sometimes plastic, while it is forgiving, it's not rigid enough to actually run the system. Now, being that this can run 6S and 8S and anything in between, right now I've got only 6S batteries, so I'm going to order me a set of either A8S battery or 2 4S batteries, and solder some tips on them and get them prepared for this. So that is what we're upgrading this bad boy to. Like I said, I do have the aluminum bell crank housing. That's going to be here today. And let's see what else I'm waiting on. Just a couple more things. Front and rear skid plate, aluminum skid plate. Those supposed to be here today, but they didn't even leave California, so I'll probably get them sometime next week. And bell crank will be here today, and the rear hinge pin aluminum kit will be here by tomorrow. So pretty soon we're going to start this build, and it's going to be a good time, and I hope to take you along with me with the journey. If you have any questions about any of this, and what I'm going to do, I think, is in this video, I'm going to list everything that we just went over here and where I got it from, and you can follow that link in this video. And as we break down and do each project on the truck, like when we're doing the A-arms and that, I might film multiple videos in a day, so we'll go ahead and, like, say we do the A-arms and the knuckles on a video. Well, I'll do a front and a rear on video, and obviously I don't need to do all 4 on video. That's a waste of your time and mine. You can see how the process is done. One on the front, one on the rear, and then you can go do it yourselves if you want to be. But in those videos, I'll list the aluminum hot racing knuckles and the RPM A-arms individually in those videos as well, to give you all the most information I can. I can tell you right now, if you wanted to do this and do everything that I did right here, $549 for the truck. I verified this was $279 free shipping to my house. Servo was $105. These were free because I already had them on the heli, so it didn't matter. This was $279. This was an additional 20, excuse me. This was $105. This was $35. Fast Eddie's bearings were $25. That was $15 for the fan mount. That was $5. Steering servo saver was $7. I don't remember exactly how much these knuckles were, but I think they were $18 each. So $36 for the pair. These diffs, I want to say were, for the diff housing and the diff covers, that was $100 right there. Like I said, I got a good deal on them for spares. That was $3. That was $5 for the center diff cover. Shock towers, I paid on eBay for front and rear $20. Robinson Racing Gear was $13. Arrma gear was $6. The oil was $9 for this 30K. Steering servo arm, $10. 500K diff fluid was $10. This 13 tooth Arrma gear was $7. Both these braces I got as a package off of eBay, and they were $17 for the both shipped. $22 for each steel differential, so $66 for those three. This chassis I paid $38 for. This bumper was $17.50 from eBay. And these A-arms I got directly from RPM, and I want to say they were like $46 or $36, one or the other. And just so you know, I'll tell you the prices, the last prices of what I've got coming, if Amazon works with me here. It's not working. So the aluminum bell crank steering, that was, gotta pull it, $18.99. The front and rear skid plates was $11.99 each, so $24 shipped. And the aluminum hinge pin retainers for the rear, for the front and the back, were $36. So if you want a cheap hobby, this ain't the hobby. That being said, by the time I put all this into there, I essentially will have a roller over here, and I may just go pick up a few extra parts and make it back to a stock Arrma or something, and just sell it for $400, and somebody gets a cheap car and I recoup some of my money. Because like I said, all this will be new, so it's never going to see anything until we get it all finished. So yeah, that's the stuff. I'm going to link it all below. If you have any questions, God, put them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. I know it's a little bit long-winded video, but I feel like people make these videos and they list all this stuff, and there's so much information missing, then you got to go chase it. So I'd rather give you the information and then put the information in the description, and hopefully it helps you out. You know, when you get into this stuff, you know, you really got to have a passion and a love for it, because It's aggravating working on them sometimes. It's aggravating from a cost standpoint, but I will tell you, there is no better joy when you get these things run. You could buy this car right now, ready to run, and go have a blast with it. Just be prepared to know that certain parts on the car, when you ram it into a tree at 54 miles an hour, it's gonna break. And there's preventative things to do that, like, you know, these more flexible A-arms and things that have some give. But just know that you don't have to do all this. This is strictly something that I enjoy. Building it is part of the enjoyment for me, and seeing the project come together. So this is just something that I love. Running it is great too. But there's no better feeling after you put all this hard work and time and effort that you've put into your vehicle to watch it go out and tear up. You know, with this particular motor combo, once I get the 8S in it, I mean, 75, 80 miles an hour is easily realistic, keeping the motor cool at that speed. I probably won't run it that fast just because I don't see a need to have a Kraton running down the road at 85 miles an hour, but that don't mean we won't try it. we definitely will try it. So we'll see what we do there, but yeah, I hope this is enjoyable to you. Any questions, comments, put them in the any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. Hit that thumbs up button, share this video, you know, interact with it, because that's what makes the difference. And if I can help you, or does help you, and we can build a better community, then that's what this is all about. So thank you for watching. Thanks for taking the time out of your day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next time when we start this build. Thank you.